7 o'clock, March 28th, 2024, calling to order the Millersburg Police Commission meeting. Present is Andrea Kellogg, Chairwoman, Chief Matt Shaner, not present on the committee, Devon Poland, Bob Shoemaker, Mayor Hoffey. There are no visitors here tonight, and there will be a discussion from Chief Shaner and Chairperson Andrea Kellogg as to how these meetings will proceed and when we'll schedule them. So, first of all, I guess I had one question about, should we talk about maybe, and maybe the chief can answer this, so maybe some goals that the police department as a whole has for the year, things they want to achieve, things maybe you'd like to see your officers do better, response to public, people that have addressed things in the public. What are maybe some goals that Chief Shaner has for the police department to maybe do better or to respond to citizens' concerns?
One thing that I'm working on, I worked on last year and working on this year is getting the officers more training. You know, we have a young years of service-wise group of officers, and they need to get the training more than just the basic academy. The majority of my officers are 2 or 3 years out of the academy, so a lot of that has simply been just the basic academy stuff. So with our continuing ed that we have to do every year, trying to get them into different.
So what would those
trainings
be? Because I did have a question about, how many are trained on the crisis intervention, like crisis?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Right now, I think I have 3 that need to go through the 40-hour class.
Okay.
They are scheduled for class in October.
Okay.
And then at that point, the only 2 that will not have it is my 2 dispatchers, that
Okay.
are non-sworn officers.
Okay.
And Wayne County Sheriff's Office, they do a CIT for dispatchers. I don't know if she does it every year or every other year. She did it last year, and I was not able to send one of my dispatchers on. We had 2 dispatchers at the time.
Okay.
But I do want to get the other, both of my dispatchers that are not certified, I want to get them into the CIT class for dispatchers.
Okay.
And then if they go to the academy, if they would become certified officers, then I send them to the certified, the 40-hour CIT class.
So we have how many officers that are certified?
Let me get my roster.
Okay. All right.
So I don't miss a number.
Okay.
Seven of us, including myself. I've
7,
been to it.
including chief. 3, you have 3 that will go through it in October?
Yes.
And then that would be all of them except
That would be
your 2.
all the certified officers.
Okay, that's
And
good.
I have my 2 dispatchers left.
Okay, that's good. What other training besides, so you said more training, so crisis intervention.
There's they call it A-RIDE, which is kind of like an advanced OBI.
Oh,
kind of
good.
Training.
Advanced.
That's something that I want to get. And I think out of my certified officers, I think I only have 2.
That are, that have
not
that?
had it.
2 have not had it?
Right.
Okay.
Rest have.
Okay,
And then I give it, tell them to let me know what they're interested in.
okay, so if there's a,
Like I have 2 officers, I think, I've not heard from the one. Open it up for 2 officers to go to an advanced CIT class.
okay, there's an advanced one?
Yeah,
Okay.
which concentrates on de-escalation,
Okay,
so.
because I think we're gonna see more of this.
That's in, what's that?
I think we're gonna see more of this.
Yeah, that's in, I think, May.
In May? How many wants to do, how many's doing?
I know one has committed, I haven't
Okay.
heard back from the other.
Okay, so 1, okay,
But
all right.
there's two that I would send.
Okay,
Because they do the advanced CIT class, try to do that one every year.
that's de-escalation?
Yeah, this year's topic, every year it's a different
Oh,
topic.
okay.
De-escalation ends up being in a lot of it,
Yeah.
between the CIT
Yeah.
class and the advanced, but there's been different topics for the
Okay.
advanced, so.
Okay,
And then I believe I have a few that need, it's not called the breathalyzer anymore.
intoxilizer,
Intoxilizer. I believe I probably have 3 or 4 that need to do that,
that can actually do the,
that need to get the training so they can do the testing.
okay. So how many are trained to do that right now?
There should be 5 or 6 of us, because I'm not totally sure on my number that's still needed.
And how many do you think not? There's 10?
Yeah, there's 3 or 4.
Including you?
There's 3 or 4 that I believe need it.
Okay,
And then that's not something that the dispatchers would do.
yeah. Okay, okay, that's good. So more training.
And then there's a training in June, that's fundamentals on patrol.
Okay,
Covers some legal stuff, refresher stuff, I believe also.
okay,
That's scheduled in June, and there's 5 of us going to that.
okay. I like it. Well, that's good. So that makes me happy.
And if somebody comes up, like one of the officers had mentioned to me about, traffic stops, OVI stuff, which is the A-Ride class.
Uh-huh.
And I told him that I'm working on, they only do the A-Ride class in certain parts of the state, so many
Okay.
times a year.
Okay,
And they fill up quick, so
okay,
it's kind of you gotta be watching really quick. It's not always the easiest thing to get the officers into.
okay. So 2, you're right, you said 2 have not done that. I think that's what you told me, the advanced OVI training.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that, especially the crisis intervention, I'm happy about that, because I think things are gonna it's gonna
Yeah,
get
and I'm
worse.
on the board for the Wayne Holmes,
You are?
yeah,
Okay.
for the CIT board.
Okay,
Um,
because I remembered you were on the bill, I remembered you'd gotten training.
Yep.
That was a
Yeah,
big deal to
I-
you.
I
That was one
went
of the
through it,
things.
and it was a good training, and
Okay.
I've not had an officer tell me that it's not a good training.
Okay,
Um,
okay,
you have to do role playing in it. and
Okay.
Nobody is overly fond of doing role playing,
Mm,
but nobody has said that they didn't feel that it was a worthwhile class.
okay. So, yeah, because I think that all of our officers, because I'm not sure obviously I know of watch trials and stuff, so I don't know if all of them out there are, but I wanted all of our officers to be trained. I think that's good.
They have a good,
Do
I believe
most
they
of
have a
them?
good chunk too.
Okay, all right, all right,
They're like a lot of us have
okay,
the new ones coming in, so I'm not positive, but I know, like when I went in, they had a good chunk up there,
okay.
and then they've had
Then
some
they got
people
new
leave
people
and
coming
stuff,
in,
so,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
positive
I
of
think
that.
one that left hadn't done it, I won't mention names.
But
Okay,
they send 1 or 2,
okay,
and most of the time it's an annual class, the 40-hour. I think 1 or 2 years we did a spring and a fall.
okay,
But the demand just wasn't so much because it's, the majority of the Wayne Holmes is who we've taken in some, I think from Ashland, and I think a couple troopers have come,
okay.
to the training, but for the most part, it's Wayne Holmes. And
With our
obviously-
collaboration with them, do they help pay for your training? Or do they give some of I know one time I talked with the woman that was the head of that, just concerned about some things happening in Holmes County. And I remembered that she said they would put some classes on, sometimes they were even at the training center. And and at that time, that was the woman who used to head it, there's a new, of the Wayne Holmes, mental health, yeah.
Helen used to, or not the mental health part, for NAMI.
Yeah, and she said that sometimes they would put it on over, that she encouraged the sheriff, like some of the sheriff deputies to do it.
Yeah, I've not heard of,
Okay,
I've not known anything CIT being up there.
okay,
All our stuff is up in Wayne,
okay,
being held in Wayne County,
okay,
at least as far, since I've been chief and been
Okay.
involved with it, they've all been
all right,
in Wayne County.
okay. Okay, so that that's good. And then, so that means that they're getting trained and not just doing the basic. So then I guess I had a question about, so community outreach, which when I met with you when you talked about you go up to the school.
Yep.
And then do the officers still do nightly, like check doors with businesses to make sure
I
they're,
think periodically
Okay.
they do, yes, they do.
cause, a person who lives in one of the apartments caught that I didn't close my back door. So she said she'll notice that, she'll do that for people, so. I know there were times when our office door was unlocked, so it's nice to,
I know they do
Okay,
it
good.
periodically.
okay,
I'm not gonna say every night they're out doing it. but
Okay.
I do know it's periodically.
okay. Then, and you probably can't tell me, but, so, police presence, like, it can be a deterrent, like we even, like, are they sitting? I mean, I'm not seeing them like sometimes I used to see them.
Well, I think the biggest thing is we got new people,
Okay,
so the places where you used to always see the guys,
yeah,
they're not sitting.
okay,
Quite a few of my officers are more, instead of, I guess, taking an active role doing traffic stops
okay,
versus the setting and being
Okay.
visible.
Yeah, I'm
which is-
used to
Which is a deterrent.
it is,
But, and I know like, when I first got on, you could tell who was working by where they were sitting.
oh yeah, I knew some of the old guards where they sat every
Yeah.
day.
And it's not like that
Okay.
anymore.
Okay,
Number one, with traffic being the way traffic is, I know myself being mobile, you almost need to be mobile.
yeah,
Because, you get somewhere and you sit, like South Washington Street, for
Yeah.
example. Sewer plant used to be prime place for
yep,
them to
I
sit.
remember I'm sitting there.
Sometimes traffic feels like forever in a day that you can, if you would have to come back towards downtown, it can feel like you're, having to sit forever in a day to get out of there, so,
Okay,
the mobile, not that they don't have stationary times, but I think a lot of them are a lot more mobile, and having younger officers, you get geared towards the traffic enforcement. Obviously, traffic enforcement with council has been
Yeah,
a
that's
topic,
gonna-
so,
Yeah.
if they're gonna be sitting, it's gonna be more areas where they can run some traffic, and they're trying to pick different areas.
well, last Saturday, one sat behind my house at the old laundromat for an hour and 15 minutes, so I don't know what was going on. I mean, Jeff walks the dog, so, and they paid attention, so I don't know. They don't write reports sitting there, do they?
Sitting in their cars,
Uh-huh.
yes, they do.
So he
the
could have been
reports in
doing
their
that,
cars.
so somebody could have been doing that, so it could have, we didn't, he just noticed it, and I said, well, I don't know what it'd be watching for back there.
Yeah, we, for the most part.
So they might
can
sit
do-
back there and write a
can do-
report.
Can do everything in the car.
Okay, okay,
You
so
know,
that could have been what was
We
going
don't
on.
have copy machines in the car, so they
No.
come in here, but
No,
for the most part, everything is on the computer.
okay, so, those were I'm happy to hear about the training, and I'm happy to hear about especially the crisis intervention. And so I'm glad to know they're working that's goals of getting better. So I like that. What else do you think? That, have we thought about doing anything just to get, I know you go up to the school. Anything, I mean, the 4th of July weekend's gonna be hectic for you, I think, but when they do the parade and everything, but have we thought still about something so let me ask you this. So they've talked about Grace Church is gonna be doing lunches down there on Fridays at Airport Park. Would it be neat if officers came and said hi to those kids, maybe, if an officer could come
If
down?
their Grace Church is okay with that,
Okay,
and I mean no disrespect, but to anybody, but
Yeah.
not always are we welcome.
okay.
I mean, we've not been told no,
Yeah.
but we've also, I mean.
Just for people the kids.
I know, like in the past, we had officers who kids played ball,
Yep,
so they would be at the ball games.
yeah,
I know some of my officers will get out to the park sometimes and just kind of do a stroll through.
okay,
We have at least one touch truck scheduled already this month, or this summer, when they do the power show out at the fairgrounds.
Okay,
They invited us out for a touch
Okay.
truck.
okay.
You know, so it's one of those things, and,
So you try to find ways to get them integrated in,
yep.
okay, all right.
you know, we haven't got back into the swing of things. With Fourth of July, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be
I-
hectic. I don't think you can
I
really,
try to encourage, you know, when stuff's going on, to get out and walk around.
I think
to
it's
be in person.
important.
So, and I usually come in, like Antique Weekend, I'm usually in here, and I'll take a couple strolls up around. You know.
Okay, okay,
I walk through like the car show, and then walk around the stuff at the courthouse, you know, before the parades.
okay,
Because usually a lot of times after the parades, they're heading for like where they're playing music,
Yeah.
or people are skedaddling, so.
okay.
um,
Just so kid, you know, I mean, I think, well, my kids grew up with Dare, so it was, they were used to, I don't know how much, they always said that wasn't successful, but I'm not so sure it wasn't.
Yeah, we used to do a thing called Officer Phil,
Okay,
and I'm not positive it was not like originated or generated through us. I don't know if it was generated through the school,
okay,
but we've not had that since COVID.
okay. So I wonder, are they doing that again, or are
Yeah,
they?
I've not heard anything.
Okay.
And it was a two-day thing at the
Okay.
school. You know, they kind of kept it was almost kind of like a dare thing.
Okay.
But pretty basic stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously age appropriate for the different levels, grade levels. But I've not heard from them since COVID.
So you don't know?
Yeah,
if-
I don't know if that's gonna come back around or not.
That's a shame. So, okay, well, that was and then the police memorial's May 17.
Yes.
And then I'm not sure, I'm thinking I've been to one, but there's just a taps play and then.
Yeah, basically what we do is you honor obviously
Yeah.
the fallen. Somebody will read off, usually Brad Kahn will
Okay.
read off the names of the officers that have fallen the year before.
Okay,
And we try to have, I guess you call him a guest speaker, I'm not sure
Okay.
what exactly the appropriate, but somebody that's not necessarily on, because it's a combined effort between us, the sheriff's office, and the state patrol.
okay.
And we usually try to get somebody, like we've had judges in the past.
Have you got anybody yet lined
I'm
up?
not sure if Brad has or not.
Okay, so Brad will do that.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
kind of leading up the,
okay, okay. So
that
he's the head of all
committee.
that.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Yep.
okay,
But
okay.
I know we're still working on it.
Okay.
You know, and obviously we hope for good weather, so.
Yeah, well, June or May, I mean, it could be rainy, but, okay. Well, that satisfies any questions I had that I think that's good, and so you and I discussed earlier, how often do we think we need to do these? And what do you, I mean, I think maybe I don't know, and like you said, unless something comes up where, do we wanna, I mean, most of the committee didn't show.
Well, but they have,
Yeah.
I don't know what that's.
I think
about.
Kelly
I don't
and
know what's
Bob-
going on, but
Kelly
the
and Bob,
presentation
they
up
would have
there.
been here.
Yes, yeah,
They would have been here.
so I
So-
don't know,
Should we schedule another one? We talked about
once a quarter.
once a quarter.
Why don't we plan on,
June, if we did it at the next quarter, that'd be June 27.
okay, why don't we tentatively schedule it that way?
Okay.
And we can speak with because in June,
We got that weekend is gonna be
yeah, and.
so maybe we do
in
want to talk.
June, July, and August, we only do one council meeting
Oh, that's right.
anyhow, so maybe
Okay.
skip June and
Okay,
go the next quarter. We can talk.
maybe talk about it with
the
them,
mayor
and
the
see.
other- Yeah, and see, you know, what the deciding factor is, but like I told you, most of the chiefs that I talked to, you know, unless something would come up, they didn't have regularly scheduled police committee meetings. If there was new equipment introduced, like I told you, when Taser first came
Yeah.
around, that's where they introduced the taser to the committee. And then the committee, you know, went and talked to council about it, and that's kind of how
Are we even using?
Tasers?
Yeah,
Yep, we have tasers.
I don't see them too much.
We don't like to use them.
I don't like them.
No, but it's there.
Okay.
Yes,
Um,
all the officers are certified to use them and carry them, and we have them.
Okay.
So, I know in the time I've been here, like when I started, hands-on was pretty regular.
When we first, when they first came out, everybody was using them.
Nowadays, you don't have so much of the hands-on, so,
Yeah.
good tool. I feel it's a good tool. I understand.
If they're used correctly.
I understand where people have issues with them, and,
If they're used correct, I've seen when they're not done right, and that can cause even more trouble. So, but anyway, so,
so let's do it that way.
okay,
go
so
talk
we'll
with the other
figure out
members,
if everybody,
And then,
but that June 27, we only have one council meeting that month,
yeah.
and that's gonna be the Thursday right before your
yeah,
hectic
I'd
weekend.
rather-
You need to be
if it's not a
concentrating.
problem,
I think they'll be okay with that,
Okay.
so we'll figure it out, and, I think it's good, so at least
So-
we're doing it, and I thought it was I learned some things, and I know more about our police department, and so, 7:23, and I'm gonna say that we're officially, the meeting's adjourned.